This is Carl at National RV Detroit, and I'm going to walk you through this 2022 Forest River Salem travel trailer, and the model number is 31KQBTS. Okay, so this is not a floor plan or a sales video, it's a how-to video, so I'm just going to show you some of the features and how they work. Okay, so here we are at the door side rear of the trailer. Now you can see it still has to be washed here. We're still working on it, but I'm just going to go over the components anyway. So under this hood here you have your grill. The grill folds out. You can swing it all the way around to here if you need to. There's a rubber LP quick connect hose that's coiled up inside the grill. That will plug in right here, so you can get LP to your grill. So that connects it to the system. You also have scissor type stabilizers, but you have one more component to it. It is called a strong arm. It's this yellow piece right here. Basically, when you raise and lower your scissor jacks, you want this to be loose here, this right here. So you have it loose, and then you lower it down and you get it in the position you want. Then you tighten it to take the front and rear wiggle out of it, the forward and rearward wiggle. Anytime you're raising or lowering the jack, you want that loosened, but once you get into the position you want it, you tighten it up. Okay, there's one on each corner, of course. All right, so you have like I said, your grill swings around. You have a AC refrigerator here. Well, we're gonna have to adjust that for you. Yeah, we'll take care of that for you. I didn't know we didn't have that done yet. Anyway, that's a AC refrigerator. You have running water right here. Okay. You have a power awning with LED strip. Outside speakers, of course. This is a fill for your fresh water tank. Let's say that you're camping at a campground that does not have plumbing on the campsites. You can pre-fill your fresh water tank here and then turn on the water pump and pump water to work just as though it has city water. So you only use this when you don't have city water hookup, okay? Keep in mind, this is a range hood vent. It has a baffle in there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but you always want to pull on the baffle with your thumb and flip it open so it flaps freely when you're venting. So anytime you're venting, you want that to be open. Also, this is your freshwater drain down here. Let me see if I can find it here. Hold on. Well, let me look around here. Right here. Boy, that took me a long time. I guess I should have looked back. But there's your gate valve to drain your tank. Okay. I guess I should have looked behind me, huh? So, this is your water heater. This works on both gas and electric. Keep in mind that this switch right here in the lower left-hand corner, let's see if I can get that off of there like it's supposed to be. Okay, this switch right here, rocker switch, this controls the electric heating element that's behind this cover here. So keep that in mind if you're going to be running your electric heating element, which is really the most common way to keep it. You have to turn it on right there. Always make sure there's water in the tank before you turn it on. That's important. Also, this is where you drain it from. Takes an 1 1/16" 6-point socket, so keep that in mind. Also, there's an anode rod attached to it. And this also has a gas burner, and the switch to operate the gas burner is inside the trailer. I'll show you that when I get in there. Okay. Let's see what we have here. Pass-through storage. That's your dump hose down there. This right here goes on the end of a drill. Here, let me turn it on. It goes on the end of a drill, and it's 3/4 inch, so you can operate your stabilizers that way. This crank here is for the power tongue jack. If the power tongue jack fails, you can pull the rubber plug out of the top and put that right in there and crank it manually. And this other piece It has to do with the awning, getting the awning in if there's some kind of damage it sustains or whatever. So in order to operate this, you have to really look at the directions, and also it's good to watch the manufacturer's video on it too, okay? Alright. So you have two LP tanks full with an automatic changeover regulator. This is your power tongue jack here. Has a docking light plus up and down. This is where you would crank it manually. You'll just pull this plug, and if you have to in an emergency you can get hitched or unhitched no matter what. You have a deep cycle marine battery here, and there's a kill switch for the battery. When you put it into storage, for example, you could turn the kill switch off and disconnect the battery. Alright. This is the other end of the pass-through here. Okay. So as we move down, you got two slide outs on this side. Okay. This is a black tank flush. Let me just do that now. Okay. So you have your valves down here. You can see the black valve right here. There's a gray and two grays and a black actually. The black tank is for toilet water and waste. So you can dump that and then leave the valve open, and then you can hook the hose of the dump station onto here, turn on the water, and it'll flush out the inside of your tank, clean off the sensors. But you remember, you got, like it says on the sticker, you have to have the valve open when you do that, so too much pressure doesn't build up. Alright, so this is the city water hookup. He's still testing it here. This is cable to satellite through. This is your 30 amp 30 foot power cord. Okay. I showed you the grill already. This housing tells us it's pre-wired for a backup camera, so if you want to add one you can do it. Also, this is what would you say? There's a pre-attachment put on there in case you wanted to buy a telescoping ladder that Lippert sells. So keep that in mind. Also, we're looking up, make sure that the manufacturer states that you should inspect your roof every 90 days. So make sure you go up there, or have somebody go up there every 90 days. Make sure that all the sealant is good and tight, no cracks or separation. Make sure there's no damage to the roofing attachments or roofing material by low branches or road debris, stuff like that. If you see an issue, take care of it immediately. Alright, so as we move in here, you have your control panel right here. So for this slide room right here, it's this one here, or actually this one here. For your power awning, it's right there. You can see. Never leave the awning out unattended. If you're not going to be at the trailer, roll it in. Your dimmer, you just rub your thumb over it, or finger. You can test your batteries charged. Fresh water is empty, black is empty. Gray one is empty, which is the bathroom tanks. Sink and shower, and then galley is empty, which is great tank number 2 right here for the sink. Okay, you turn your water pump on here if you want to pump out of your tank. It's also used to winterize the trailer. To light your water heater on gas is right there. Remember I showed you the electric switch is outside in the lower left hand corner. Alright, so you have a fireplace that works on 110 AC. It's a space heater, so you can set the fan speed, you can change the appearance of the color of the crystals, and then you can separately change the color of the flame. So there's a lot you can do with it, and it's a good heater that works on 110, so you won't use your limited supply of LP gas. Alright, so there is a backing plate here if you want to hang a TV bracket, and this is your system here, and you have basically FM radio, no AM. You have a remote right here, by the way. You have Bluetooth, so you can stream wirelessly from your phone or tablet. You got a USB drive right here, so you could put all your favorite albums, let's say, on one USB drive and take them with you. This HDMI is an in, so if you need to go into the system, let's say you got your TV hooked up and you have a portable Blu-ray player, you'd set it right here, plug it in there, and you go straight into the system right there, for example. Also, it has 2 speaker zones, 1 and 2. 1 is inside the trailer, 2 is outside the trailer. So it does a lot. That's your fireplace remote there, by the way. This is where you hook your coax up to. I just want to show you that right now it's green, as you can see. The LED is green. It should always be like that when you're using the antenna. So if you're using the antenna, you want it green. You can shut it off, but you won't get a good picture or a good signal. So it's always got to be on when you're using the antenna. And this just telling us this is pre-wired for a Wi-Fi signal booster. This would consist of a router type thing that would sit here, and then on the roof there's another attachment where you would hook up an antenna. If you're interested, you can go to their website and look around and see what different products they have. Okay, so we'll go this way. You have your keys right here, of course. Microwave is here. Your range hood vent and light right here. Remember I told you about opening the baffle outside. Make sure you do that. I'm not sure if he's got the gas turned on here, so we'll just see. Don't hear it. Oh, it's on, yeah. So that's very simple. You're going to turn this leftmost knob. You turn it clockwise to spark it. You got 3 burners and 3 knobs. Then you got the last burner for the oven. The oven down at the bottom here, all the way to the back, is a pilot light. Maybe I can spark it so you can see it. Sometimes you can see it, sometimes you can't. Basically, you go to the oven knob, you go to the picture of the flame, which means pilot. You depress it and keep it depressed during the whole lighting procedure. Then you light it. Once you see the flame down here light, you still hold this for another 10 seconds or so to heat up the thermocouple. Then you go to whatever temperature you want. When you shut it off, the flame goes out, but so does the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Always travel with this shut so it doesn't break. This is a 12-volt DC refrigerator. So it's got a DC compressor on it, so it runs off of 12 volts. Always lock the latch so you don't damage it. This sticker down here, which I'll leave there for you, is telling you that if you take these 2 screws out, there's one at each end of this panel, number 2 square-headed screws. If you do that, your water pump and your hookups are to winterize the trailer are behind that panel. Okay. Also, this is your carbon monoxide LP gas detector. It should always be green like it is. If it goes off, obviously you take everybody outside, leave the door open, shut the gas off at the front, figure out what's going on. Alrighty. You can jackknife this couch flat, turn it into a bed. You can drop the table here onto the cleats and turn this into a bed. Your thermostat is very simple. You just hit the mode button to light it up, and then you just keep hitting it to go through all the different options. Your sink and shower work like any other sink and shower. The RV toilet is typical. It's got a flush pedal right here. The black tank is directly below. Okay, so the thing to remember is you have to have water and chemical in it before you use it. By in it, I mean in the black tank directly below. So after you hook up your power and your water, you'll come inside, put a dose of chemical in the bowl, step on it, and let at least a gallon of water go into the tank. Some people use more, it's up to you. But you can't use it dry, otherwise the smell will be terrible, and it can also get clogged up. So always use chemical and water in it. Keep in mind, this is a GFCI. All the plugs in the trailer are wired to a GFCI, even the one on the outside. Okay. These are the 2 switches for your slide rooms. Your left or door side and off door side slide rooms in your bunk house. Of course, you can drop this down, turn it into a bed, of course. This couch, if you want, you can fold this one up. Right, I don't know if you can see that, but you can fold it up. That's where it latches right up there. And this is a couch. You can also fold it out and turn it into a bed. So that's 4 beds. You have your TV hookup here. This is your this device here is your power converter. It converts AC to DC power. So what it does is you start with regular 110 AC that when you're plugged in, and it's right here. You see these are AC circuit breakers, just like you'd see at home. 110 AC, and they're all labeled. Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC over here. So you got 12 volt fuses here, and they're all labeled. So that's where the 12 volt comes from. Also, when you're plugged in, it'll sense how much energy your battery needs up front, and it'll always keep your battery charged up too. So it's actually a battery tender also. Okay? Alrighty. So, heading back up front to the bedroom here. Let me just walk up here. So, there's some storage underneath the bed. That's kind of a hamper behind there. But, you got TV hookups here plus backing plate here so you can put a bracket. Your escape window right here. Okay. And shades, the usual stuff. So, okay. First of all, I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Second of all, please remember what I said about the manufacturer stating that every 90 days the roof should be checked. That's important to do. Also, this trailer is in camping mode right now. All the antifreeze has been purged from the system, replaced with water. And so it's ready to be camped with right now. There's no antifreeze, just water in the system. Okay? Thank you.